Hi, so it's Sunday. It's nice, decent light. Everything's white and fluffy again. I got the window open now to enjoy the breeze. Got my wintertime coffee here. It's spring in Newfoundland and Labrador. Doesn't fucking look like it, mate, does it? What? Yeah, no, it doesn't really look like spring today to me. It looks like winter came back because they forgot their keys and they wanted to stick around while you're finished watching your show. So I got my stuff on this. Sunday UnRant. Feelings on new MGS. Didn't keep up on too much of the development. I think Kiefer Sutherland's a voice on it. That's about it. And apparently I can get it for $360. Am I going to get it? Not right away, but I'm not joining in the whole, oh, it's all you hear about, I'm not getting it. And some people are giving a good defense as to why they're not getting it. I just don't make it a point to try to get a game on time unless it's something that's really near and dear to me. This is far from near and dear to me. I'll get it in a few months probably. Might get it when it's on sale. Not knocking the game, just it doesn't have my interest right now, so I'm just not gonna get it. That's that. I'm like that with movies. Unless it's like a group of friends, we're all gonna go watch the new whatever the hell is playing in the theater. Nobody rallied together with me when I wanted to go see the goddamn Lego movie. Yeah, I'm bitter. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get into playing Fallout 3 until probably 2011 when I found it in a store for brand new, sealed on sale for like $22. The Game of the Year edition is like, okay, this has got all the DLC. I can play what I want, and you know, I didn't even install the DLC till it hit like level 18. My buddy was like, dude, install the DLC, it'll be level 30. I was like, oh, cool. And so yeah. So that's my feelings on that. Nothing else too much. I listened to the completely unnecessary podcast there, the excerpts that pop up on YouTube. Because I don't really have time to even listen to one, but I used to be a fervent and very loyal AGG listener from the All Gen Gamers. Still do, but I end up having to, you know, like pretty much binge listen, get some stuff done. I'm probably going to do that while I'm editing, and that now is just I'm realizing now that I have less time to actually do personal time stuff, and that's why one of my things was delayed, and another thing is delayed till this evening. Just, you know, stuff comes up and people want to do stuff, and I need to do stuff, and I need to get away from the computer sometimes. It's, you know, I got to make sure that I have that line where I don't treat everything as a burden, and that's when you start hating shit, and that's not why I did this. I want to do this because I enjoy this. I love it. It's fun. It's great. Doing UnRants, I'm probably going to start doing these daily at some point soon. It's just, you know, right now, just feeling out the structure of a 7-day-a-week schedule now. Monday onwards, there will be no real delays in things, thankfully. Some stuff is going to drop late, like my comic-related thing is going to drop tonight, and then, you know, tomorrow I'm going to be, you know, business as usual, and I'm going to be filming in the daytime. Sleep schedule's been shacked up as well. House has been unbearably warm some nights, and as well, the weather's been odd, and I have to sleep with the window open now sometimes, and I have a ceiling fan going in what feels like the middle of winter. So yeah. Why I use Linux? Oh, yeah. So, unlike a lot of you in the community, I'm probably like the only one who verbally asserts that he uses Linux daily, and not just like Android or the Raspberry Pi or, you know, the little Linux handheld emulation device that they have. I use Ubuntu Linux. I'm using the 64-bit version of 13.10. This is the XFCE desktop environment version of Ubuntu. I'm still using Ubuntu, but I'm using one that doesn't use that Unity thing or GNOME. I'm using XFCE. I've been using it since like 8.10 on my old ThinkPad. I started from the having to use it on a very old laptop to keep it running good school of Linux adopters, and that's what I did because my desktop was Windows, but if I wanted to go anywhere, I didn't have a tablet or anything around then. I used my, you know, Linux laptop, and then I got the free PC drop my laptop. It's a lot earlier on in the channel's history where I show I pretty much glue a smaller screen into this laptop that I was given for free, and I got the parts for free, and I have a free computer, and so in the spirit of it, I was going to try to do a Hackintosh with it, but then I was looking at it, I was like, really, why am I jump through all these hoops to get the same amount of performance I can get out of a Linux system? And I was retiring the ThinkPad at that point anyway. It's 2011. The ThinkPad was made like 9 years previously. It had like 8 megs of video RAM. It would be good for a file server, but that's pretty much it. Anyway, so I'm still going to keep it for display purposes. It's a goddamn ThinkPad T20. It's one of the godfathers of the ThinkPad series. And I'm on 4chan. I always love hitting up the ThinkPad threads. Anyway, so I said, yeah, I'm going to throw on Ubuntu like I've been using on my ThinkPad. And I really saw how the beast was unleashed at that point, because I had 3 gigs RAM play with. I had a 320 gig hard drive, 128 megs onboard video, which for Linux was fine at that point. Still is decently fine. I'm not doing any gaming on it, anything new. I had Steam for Linux on the bugger, but really, like, between the source engine having problems with OpenGL and the fact that this laptop is 6 years old, but I'm using it as a desktop for my day-to-day stuff, it's quite formidable, and that's what I'm getting to why I use Linux, or well, you're going to hear the Richard Stallman thing. It's like, it's GNU Linux. Yes, it is GNU Linux. But GNU Linux was the originator. This is the godfather of it all. Now, like, you don't call Ubuntu Linux. You call it Ubuntu. You don't call Knoppix Linux. You call it Knoppix. You refer to it by the distro's name. So I use Ubuntu, which is a variant of Ubuntu. It's pretty much Ubuntu. But anyway, Linux-based. Just use that and you're fine. I don't have to go jump through hoops either cracking software or anything like that, because I can afford Sony Vegas, which is like $300, and friends of mine is like, you know, yeah, about Adobe Pinnacle, it's good, or whatever the bloody hell, oh, Premiere, and there's Pinnacle's another one that a friend recommended me. I was like, no, I use Kdenlive and OpenShot, depending on if I'm throwing together a small video or a big video. Quick video, I use like OpenShot. It's like a halfway between Windows Movie Maker and iFilm, where you can actually do a fair amount of things to it. But for more robust things, I use Kdenlive, and I confess, I've cracked Sony Vegas 8 in the past. My Xbox USB controller mod video was edited in Sony Vegas 8. I had to crack it. And it's decent. I liked it. Then I found Kdenlive, which is pretty much Vegas for Linux-based machines, and I use that, and it's great keyframeable audio for when I'm doing like music in the background. Like this video here that I'm doing has, you know, keyframeable music that I've mixed in post in the background, what you're hearing now. That I put in, there's a little option on there for audio correction called keyframeable audio, and I can actually, you know, move that in like almost like a line graph. So I can actually have the music at different volumes if I want to. I'm not going to do it because I'm, you know, just banging this thing out fast. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I use Chrome, I use Skype, I get all that stuff, because some people are like, well, why should I use Linux? None of my programs are there. They're all there. Virtually, if not in some other incarnation. For instance, you're not going to get Microsoft Word, but you'll get LibreOffice, which is on Windows and on Mac and on BSD and pretty much on anything that's a distro. And OpenOffice is Microsoft Office for somebody who doesn't want to look like a Ponzi git and go out and spend $150, because it still does that docx format that your university professor so got a hard on to be using these days. I remember it was WordPerfect. So you got that. Your browser, you got Chrome. You don't have Internet Explorer. Why? I wonder if there's some odd fellow out there who's running some Linux distro. They've got one installed, and they've got Internet Explorer installed, and that's all they use for a browser. They don't use Firefox, which is on Linux and on everything else. They don't use Chrome or Chromium. Chrome's open source variant. So if you want no proprietary code in your Chrome, you can go get Chromium. Unless you use Windows, then you suck. You don't suck because you use Windows. You suck because you use an operating system that's a bit limited in what you can get open source. Like, there's no tracking software. You can look in on the code and see, like, oh, well, you know, they put this in, they put that in, or, oh, there's no DRM software in this, or blah, blah, blah. That's the cool thing about open source as well. So people usually pick it over as soon as they see it, and they're like, oh, well, you know, I found this and that and everything, blah, blah, blah. But, so, Audacity, available in Linux. That's where it originated. LMMS, Linux Music Media Studio, or something like that. It's pretty much like FL Studio's Fruity Loops to some of the lifers. And besides that, you know, I can Google Plus. Somebody, Zaytu Constantine, thank you very much if you're a viewer. Zaytu Constantine just added me to their circle on Google Plus, which is great. But yeah, it's as robust, as beefy. It doesn't use quite nearly as much resources as you would in Windows. Not knocking Windows. I have Windows 7 64-bit Home. Yeah, Home Premium. And that's wired into the sound system. Using my other laptop. That's actually pretty decent, but it's my Windows laptop. I use it for games and I use it for media. Not media encoding or anything like that. I just use it for media serving, like to the Raspberry Pi, or I watch movies on there, or I have the browser open to YouTube. I really don't use it for anything like social media, and that I have Skype on there as a backup in case something happens in this. I need to get on Skype, and for some reason my tablet's dead, etc., etc. So I can get on Skype on that if I have to, but I don't really use it. I use Skype on that, and Skype on that doesn't even have ads. The little ad toolbar at the bottom, Ubuntu at least, what I'm using, doesn't have that on Skype. I can just use it and it's fine. But yeah, and I'm not paying a cent. Now, people can argue, well, it's not free because, if you have an user license agreement, EULA, you have to agree to yes. Yeah, that's true. And there are people that care about that, but I don't care about that so much. I have a good conscience about what I do on my computer. And I know that I'm not hiding anything, and any of my transactions are done extremely securely. I only deal through PayPal and Interact transactions. I have a credit card. I'm not revealing what I use that credit card for, but I have a credit card. And, well, no, technically I have two. I'll let you know that part. But, I browse smart. I browse S-smart. But I do. I know enough about viruses through Windows where I had to sit down with somebody's computer last week that was laden with adware, viruses, junkware, everything like that. I didn't even need an antivirus to get rid of everything for them. Every little browser redirector, every hijack, and this thing was like, as was said on the IT crowd, it was a person that shoot it in the face to put it out of its misery kind of thing. And, if you didn't know what you're doing, perfect. It took me like 4 hours, and there was a lot of stuff having to be deleted. I even knew every little hidey hole that some of the stuff like Search Protect. It's in your temp folders. That's where it's kept in your Windows directory in your hard drive. That's how you get rid of Search Protect. There's little spots you delete there, little cookies you delete, little directories it sets up, little fucking browser tabs that keep renewing so it keeps this cookie downloading so it installs this stuff again. I know all the hoops that it has to go through in order to keep itself on the system, so I can just get rid of every one of them, run a couple things, and that's it. It's gone. I don't even run redirector, or I don't even run antiviruses or anything like that. That's the thing, I don't have to worry about that with Linux. I don't get viruses, because viruses are written for an operating system in specific, and nobody writes viruses for Linux unless they're doing a specific thing, like going after servers or anything like that. But yeah, I don't pay a cent. I agree to disagree on some things, but yeah, for me it's fine. I have a Windows system. I treat it just like my 360 or my PSP or my Raspberry Pi. It's just another piece of kit. Yeah, so enough of that. I may Philip DeFranco jump cut this thing a little bit, so please don't hate. Gaming community tag. I want to put up a gaming community tag. One is anything that are indirectly related to your video editing that you need, whether it be coffee, a certain music, a cigarette, a joint, the TV going, etc. I need my coffee going. People watch live streams. I don't make any secrets of it. I have my pipe right now, and I'm having a little puff while I edit, because I am actually going over some stuff as well. Just have it minimized right now, and this is when I usually shoot the UnRant, so I want to break from just sitting down this. I got Boards Canada. Just to make sure that I got it right so no fans jump down my neck. Fans Boards Canada, but it's the Random 35 tracks tape. That one I like, so I listen to that one. Or if it's a quieter evening and I just want something a bit mellower, and it may even be having a drink, or even just like a beer or something like that, or a drink on ice. I'm listening to Oh Good Grief by Vince Guaraldi. It's jazz from the Peanuts. Music from around like the mid to late 60s into the 70s. Vince Guaraldi was used a lot for writing the music of the cartoons and some of the record releases. It's great stuff. I love listening to it. And it takes me back, because that's the stuff I grew up on as well. I've loved Peanuts and Charlie Brown. They used to have it on TV all the time when I was a kid. But yeah, I gotta have music, and if not coffee, at least like a glass of water there. I gotta have something. Well, a couple things I try to do is I try to, ignore, no offense to anyone, any kind of social media or texting or anything like that. when I do my videos, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, is very hard to lock out sometimes because it makes you so accessible and so easily. And I do understand with some people why they have, their own thing to do, and they don't really answer back. I message somebody and they don't answer back. I'm not like that fucking cocksucking idiot. No. To bleep that or not to bleep it, that's a question. We'll find out in post. Yeah, I need more coffee. But no, I don't have sour grape stores. Anyone who doesn't have the time to answer back, he says, you got your own thing to do. Some people can only think internally, and I think externally, and I think externally to, like a friend of mine, and I'm not going to name names, but, I've been trying to catch him at a good time so we can sit down and, record some stuff. Maybe do, a Skype call and just, hang out and talk over a few things and that. But, I understand he's got his shit to do, and he's got previous engagements and things like that. But, if you're, at some point, if you're watching Bud, let's do Skype or something. We'll record something, we'll talk. Maybe we'll do a little Gian Gameshi kind of thing. I want to be the Gian Gameshi of YouTube. That'd be hilarious. But, yeah. There's that. Ben Heck and mods. We were having a conversation in the YouTube gaming community about Ben Heck and that the Ouya handheld that he had made. And I like it. It was pretty nice. And yes, people pointed out, you can go out and just buy tablets that are like that. But and now Ouya is having that app service, so you can just run it on your tablet, which is cool for me now. I'm getting a proper PS3 controller for this thing, so I can run a few things. I still have to root it yet. Rooting for me right now is not advantageous as of yet, but it will be. All my things get hacked at some point, except for my 360s, because I don't want to get banhammered from Xbox Live. But yeah, that's the kind of cool thing about that. But Ben Heck is just crazy. He's got some great stuff there now. As I said before, I'm going to be doing a VIC-20 based Raspberry Pi project that will drop sometime this year, and I'm going to drop it at the same time as I'm dropping footage of how it's made, so everything drops when it's done. And there's another one in my skunk work, so to speak. All I'm going to confirm is a Raspberry Pi project that's extremely retro. That's all I'm going to confirm right now. When I reveal it, it's just going to be revealed, and not so much for the fact that I do commissions. So there's that, by the way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If anybody wants anything done, just inbox me. I've got somebody who contacted me a couple days ago wanting a small project done, a la something I've actually done previously in my Instructables. My Instructables account. A lot of people seem to like my stuff there. All my tutorials are going to go video, and later on I'll have a text-based, just picture and text version. But for right now, all the Instructables I'm going to be releasing will be released in video form with my YouTube video embedded in them on Instructables.com as of now. Then when I get a good binge writing session, everything that's released at that point will have not only its video Instructable counterpart, but it will have its text and picture counterpart. Portable mic headset recording rig for my tablet and or iPhone. I'm going to be making something like that real soon. I'm going to show you how to make it. This one's going to be one of my newer TBDs. It's just pretty much when you have a tablet or a phone or anything like that, and you have one of these with the jack on them, they have the 3 rings, meaning that it has stereo sound and a microphone and or interface for even digital things. I'm going to be making an analog rig, so with a variable resistor inline for mic levels. And it's going to be just a small box, and it's going to have dual stereo output, so you can have 2 sources for listening for monitors, and you have the microphone output. And that microphone input, would be just for any mic you want to hook up with, probably phantom power. I may throw in a booster in it. I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. Oh, look what I wrote last. Being a fanboy and why I can't be arsed. It's written right at the bottom. That's the exact wording. I was just writing it as I was going over ideas, and I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook there. He's not really in the gaming community, but he's been on a couple of streams as, I think Ryan called him the Jesus-looking motherfucker, Mac. I was talking to him. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, going over stuff for the UnRant. I can't be fucking tossed to be a fanboy for most anything. I openly defend Nintendo, but I'm only openly defending Nintendo because of the fact that a lot of the shit people are putting up is either selective journalism or just, unpurported shit. Like Nintendo's numbers now, the new Animal Crossing is apparently beating Last of Us now for sales. It's outselling Last of Us. Like, guys, come on. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Ellen Page, blah blah. It's like, Animal Crossing, boom, done. That's a bit of something to see. And now, the sales numbers coming in for the last few months for the PS4. And in Japan, at least, the PS4's numbers dropped and didn't have the steadiness the Wii U enjoyed on release over there. In addition to this, now, there's something else I had read. This is just about Nintendo. I can't believe I remember now. No, I can't remember, though. It's really, but Nintendo's getting a lot better sales. Well, oh yeah, and they outpaced Microsoft. They're the number 2 hardware sales right now. Oh, and, Sony just jacked the price of the PlayStation 4 here in Canada by $50, so it's now $450. So there's like a $50 price margin now between the Xbox One and the PS4. And I'm hearing rumors that there's going to be a price drop in the basic system for the Wii U. That sucker's going to apparently drop to $250 from what I've read in a couple of articles. I'll link them sometime if people ask me to. I can't be arsed, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, they all have the good little things that they do, which I love, playing up all 3 of them. When you start being a fanboy and putting down somebody for that, and somebody else commented on the YouTube gaming community as well. They said, don't be putting up videos of just, putting somebody down because they don't like a certain system. It's like I've seen some of these childish ones, some try to troll me. Some of these ones, I'm not tarring all the same brush, don't think I am, but one of these ones that only does shooters, and made it a point that they only like shooters, and they try to make fun of anybody who's like, oh, that guy likes Nintendo, fuck him in the ass. No, why the hell? What little thing's going on in your life where you've got to do something to feel like, a bigger person by making somebody feel bad because of their belief structure? Now somebody can say, well, Sean, you put down vaccine deniers, and you put down people, that are like that. I'm like, well, that's science. In the last about 100 years of vaccines being available, look at the serious amount of life expectancy improvement alone that has happened. People are like, oh, this one, that one randomly died. Yeah, we find out about it now because the media's there now. You can't fart in the media can't cover it. I've seen the stupidest things on the local news now for things that are apparently news. Because they got to compete with the internet, really. Because, Courtney Stodden is now a thing, mostly because of the internet. Why the fuck is this cunt a thing? Okay, this is where it becomes less unranty and it becomes a rant. But how can that be a thing in this day and age? Is because of the internet, and they got the local news fucking competing. And yeah. Oh. Yeah, it just gets to me. Like, sorry, I blanked. Where am I? But yeah, can't we all just get along is pretty much what I'm saying about that. Fanboyism. Yeah, there's fun little fanboyisms. You just, nudge your friends like, hey, what my game did versus what your game did. But I'm like, not like fucking dragging it into a big childish fucking joke. Because it really speaks, spades about who you are. People get the humor, sure, but if you're just being at it to be mean pretty much, then you're just a fucking tosser. You can fuck off in the opposite direction came in. Footnote of that, the one I seen trolled, he doesn't really do anything to do with his little podcast and website and everything like that. Do YouTube for the right reasons, folks. Don't do it to be a fucking cock. Anyway, that's my editorial views on that. The views on that do not necessarily reflect the views of a sane person. Other than that, no, that's all I can think of. Business as usual Monday. Release schedule is as follows. Monday, Cooking UnRant. Tuesday, Let's Play and live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern. Wednesday, let's play To Be Determined. Thursday, let's play To Be Determined. Friday, the comic book related item and To Be Determined. Saturday, Weekend UnRant and stream and or Sunday, To Be Determined and or UnRant. So that's how the release schedule goes. The release schedule will be my new banner on YouTube in the next couple days. As things come online, things also will be done at the same time on my fan page on YouTube. And, if you know anybody that, you think would appreciate my videos, just share the fan page with them. And I'm not asking for likes, I'm not asking for shares for my videos themselves. Just, I'm kind of putting everything I do on that fan page. So my blogger stuff, my Instagram stuff will be being put on there as well, especially my pictures. I'm going to be sitting down, majorly taking a lot of things that I, really reflect, what I'm about, and put them into the fan page. But yeah, just point people over to the fan page. I'd really appreciate it. But as always, Dialer79 here. UnRant's over for the day. See y'all Monday, fuckers.